how do we trust anything? Like, is this the face of Aarti Samani? I don't know. Oh, you don't know, right? Initially, everyone was very happy about AI avatars. We were readily giving our faces, we were giving our data to social media platforms by using filters, etc. We were playing with the game, right, as consumers. So it was fun. And in that context, it is called avatar, it is called, filters, etc. But the same piece of tech, when it goes into the hands of people with bad intentions or negative intentions, it is called deepfake attack. It is called deepfake threat and risk, right? So that's one thing we all have to be very clear on, that we are doing this by design. We are creating tech which is human-like, and now we want to create tech which detects this as not human-made. The second thing is, then everywhere we have to prove our identity. So on this call today, on this live stream, we all have our names here. How do you know that this name corroborates with this face? It is self-declared information, right? So what we need to do is have technology that will trace the origin back to this, right? So from the time a human being is born, they are given an identity. To the time they leave this body, that at that point, that identity should be stopped, because there are so many incidents of deceased identities of deceased people being used as deepfake for fraud, right? So there is a whole piece of identity which was manipulated very effectively. And we need technology that traces that identity back to the origin and all the way through the life cycle and on every platform. So we need to be verified at every point. Now that then creates a bigger problem of Big Brother watch, right? Is somebody watching me all the time wherever I interact? So we are living in a society where it is extremely difficult to just rely on technology, and we can talk about emerging techs all day long, but that alone will not solve the problem. We need to elevate the consciousness of people by giving them information, giving them awareness, and instilling the right values by which they operate.
Aarti, you mentioned, so if I found the Big Brother idea where you were constantly being under surveillance, don't you think that humans would actually have a lot of fear to interact within a society with other individuals, or probably walk around having a freedom of them being themselves? Do you think we're gonna probably provoke or build on that fear?
So I'm not advocating for the Big Brother type scenario, right? I'm saying we should not have it, and that's why we need to find other ways to corroborate identity. So we live like the nations that have democratic policies, right? The democratic nations, the whole premise of democracy is freedom of everything: speech, movement, expression, right? And if somebody is watching us and they are pulling us up because our faces changed, or because we had work done on our faces, or because we have furniture, glasses, makeup, other artifacts, that is not freedom. That is not freedom of movement, right? You feel worried that you're being pulled up. So I'm not advocating for that, but I'm saying that we are identified, but that identity should be corroborated back to the origin, right? So if Aarti Samani is matching this face, wherever this face with that name shows up, that should be corroborated. And if that doesn't, then how do we trust anything? Like, is this the face of Aarti Samani? I don't know. Oh, you don't know, right? I know who this face belongs to and who this name belongs to. But this is my point, that the name and the face do not corroborate in this instance authentically. Now, the technology here should do the work of verifying whether this face, where this face came from, right? Like, what happened from the time that I joined this call to the point that we are speaking today, where has this face come from? And if that matches the official sources, then and only then can you be sure. And even those official sources can be manipulated. So there's a whole question around how we can verify the information that comes from official sources. But you get my point that we have to be able to detect, or technology has to help us able to detect the origin of a media, a form of media. In this case, a motion image, right? I'm supposedly talking in real time with a face which is corroborating with this name, and it doesn't at the moment, right? So I should go back to my real self. This face and this
Oh,
name.
you're back, thank God. Yep, Aarti's